Hey everybody, I'm that girl goddess. Today I'm gonna talk about the value of women has really went down. There was a time that a man, if he wanted to get to know you, he'll take you on dates, he'll treat you, he'd be good to you. But at the same time as you was dating, the females we poured in too. Okay? It wasn't just the man got to do everything. And a lot of these females got the whole game twisted. That's why men are ignoring these females. Okay? They know when they go to the club, ain't nothing in the club but three or fours, drunks, dope fiends, females who set men up. So by the time you get to the room, they rob you. Okay? They talking about females that's non-functional. That's 80% of the females that go to a club on a regular basis. Okay, then they avoiding that, and because these females that go there, most of them are broke. Most of them live off of Section 8 and tricking. Let's put it out there. That's all they're doing. They don't have a job, a house full of kids, and live off the state. They're bums. I'm going to say it, they're bums. They're not educated. They don't clean house, can't cook. They have nothing to offer. They don't even have what they call mother wit. They don't even try to raise their children. If you come over to their house and it's after 9 o'clock, their children still sitting up. It can be 1 o'clock in the morning. Kids may still be sitting up because they don't have a proper bedtime. Okay? If you look at the kids' room, they have nothing. Some of them literally put a pillow on the floor and the kids laying down on the floor. They have no beds. Okay? Ask them to show you their linen. They don't have no sheets, blankets. Not for real. They don't have no towels. They have a couple for them, and they went to the dollar store, got a couple towels, and they wash their kids' face one behind the other with the same towel. Ask to see cleaning products. See, I keep cleaning products in my bathroom. There's always some Lysol, some bleach, and some detergent in my restroom. Plus plenty of toilet paper, a towel, okay? Just a towel so somebody can dry their hands, and some paper towel. Okay? I just look at people. These men seeing this stuff, they know that's not a home. They know somebody's lacking some morals and some hygiene, not just personal hygiene, but the household hygiene. I call it hygiene, but household cleanse. You know, they don't see it. You may not even have soap in your bathroom. And if you have some liquid soap, they pour half of it out and put water in it. So the disinfecting process is already diluted and it won't work. Okay, you go in the kitchen, they don't have real dishes. You know, back in the day when we had plates. Okay, they may get a couple bowls from the dollar store. They stick in the microwave. Okay, bought some lunch meat and used that as Tupperware. You know, look for the pots and pans. You may see one pot and one pan. Only reason they got a stove because they was on Section 8 and they moved in the house and they already had the refrigerator and stove there. Open the refrigerator up. You're not going to see nothing. Okay? And if you do, yeah, they got a bridge card. But most of them selling the bridge card. Okay? Then we're going to talk about their kids. Can their children read? No. But they sure can tell you how to roll them. And if you put a cup of beer down or a drink down to the side, if you turn your head, the child gonna drink it. And they gonna think that's funny. Ask the children how to know how to say thank you, because if you give them something, the mama gonna say thank you. They don't have the courtesy on their own, most of them, to say thank you when someone give them something. Then the mama think because you came over that you supposed to buy her child a pizza because she can't feed them. Like that's her child. But then she cuss the baby fathers out and tell the father, oh, don't come over here, I don't need you. But she want everybody else to take care of his child. Now she mad because the government is finally getting some sense and demanding these females go get a job. Okay? And why you keep giving them more money for giving birth to a child that they're not taking care of? Okay? Y'all should set a rule. If you're living in public housing, you can't have no more children than what you had when you came in. Because it don't make no sense every year they're having a child, so they got some dude, even if he's not living with them, but then they still expect the state and the taxpayers, hard-working people, to pay for their children that you can't say anything to. There's no level of discipline in there, okay? And when the children get to school, like I told most of the teachers, I was interested. I started teaching. I just volunteered at the church at one point because when I had my daycare, them kids that came in, I was like, Lord, bye. Okay, I ain't finna do this. Them kids were so bad. Bad. And hard on the eyes. Okay, and then we're gonna get to the mamas wanna come up there dressed like they about to turn it on the street because half their booty cheeks is out. They got on these skirts. We know the one, the bubble skirts, or the a mini skirt, but it's not a skirt. It's just a mini skirt flared out like a skirt or a tennis skirt. And yeah, that's what it is, a tennis skirt, and half their behind is out. I look at the police. Where are y'all at? Y'all used to give out tickets for indecent exposure. They come to the school, why CPS ain't called out for them coming up there looking like that? They got their private parts exposed to children. Okay, they're coming up there, no underwear on, no bra on. You can see everything. Some of them got on see-through tops. Okay, why would you go around children dressed like that? So they wonder why these men ain't investing in them. They should be embarrassed. I wouldn't take them nowhere. Like I told my kids, I wish you would bring some trash up in my house. If they don't even know how to present themselves in front of your mother, why in the world would you bring that trash to my house? Why would you want it? You ain't seeing nothing special because the whole world see everything. And then you get to talking to them or your friends or people in the neighborhood, they body count so doggone high. It ain't like you're going to enjoy them once you be intimate with them anyway, and you know where they mouth been, and everybody in the neighborhood. Because see, they be talking about $40. Nowadays, you see, I've been looking at the internet, this girl doing this for $12. Do trains for $30. That's how hard it's getting. Because these men are not investing in this. They finally woke up. See, the men back in the day, they already knew. They'll tell you, don't invest in that. Back in the 80s, they like beat that 304 with a bat. They wasn't investing in it, okay? Then we got the stupid generation came around and started investing in them. Then old men is like, okay, they're going to be glad to get me now because don't nobody want them. But then they walk around talking about, I don't want no old man. And they think a young man is going to sit there and take care of them. And they don't have nothing going for them. All the old young man do is cheat on them, beat the crap out of them, and leave. Okay? Make a baby and leave. And it ain't just because they want to leave their children. These women tell these men to get out. Tell them they don't need them. How you don't need the baby father and he's responsible for what? 50% of what you spend on your child. And then they go on a date with these men and tell them they're going to buy all their children a meal. We know they're not going to get that expensive meal because when you date them, they're going to tell you to get their child a pizza. Okay? Let's put the game on the table. They go to the dollar store and get a pack of bologna and some bread. That's what their children may eat. They make sure their kids be in school, a whole lot of them, so they can eat lunch. That lunch may be the only meal they have the day. They send them early so they can get breakfast because that's just how they is. Anything goes with them. Okay? They're not real women. They have no sense of nurturing, loving their children, loving the man they with. They don't want marriage. Be up there. I'm single by choice because that means they can date how many. And you don't have nothing to say. And now these men that got smart. These women be drunks and alcoholics, go to the bar and expect you to buy them a drink. They don't like buying you no drink. So now the females have to approach the man and he's standing around looking like, yeah, what? Basically, what do you want? $12, $15 for you to go give me, okay? Or for me to hit it, because you need to meet your rent. Your rent is $11 on subsidized. You trying to pay your electric bill. Okay, is that what you want? That's how the men look at and treat them nowadays. Why should I spend some money on taking you out? So they trash. Why would I spend money on trash? I need a quality woman. The men are getting so they're not even going to the club. You got a club full of females, and they done went through most of the men. The men don't want to dance with them. They ain't trying to impress them. They not excited about them. I mean, we living in a society where men used to do anything to get some, do anything to get them a woman. They running from you, standing there, 10 toes down, letting you know in your face. Take you on a date. These females order all this food because they can't feed themselves. So you know if they ain't feeding themselves, it's either they gotta have it. That's what it is. Okay? They have no job. So you know what they're doing to survive on the streets. They for them streets. And these guys are letting them have it. You single by choice. Women outnumber the number of men. So all of y'all bottom feeders who got these men, okay, we'll spend 12. The men, $15, $20, $40. Guess what? They decided, let me go get a real woman. Stack my place up, my money up. I got money, put money in the bank. I mean, they don't even have to be rich. Ain't nobody looking for rich because rich ain't looking for a bunch of bums, especially in the projects and in the hood. He looking for a high value woman, not just one that's educated, okay, and got a bunch of loans and looking for someone to pay off their loans, student loans. They're looking for women who are probably already paid off their student loans. They go to work, they have quality conversations, they're intelligent, they're clean, they're willing to do their part in the relationship. The Bible don't say a man meet a woman gotta provide and protect for him. These men that rob men and been a part of stuff just to get money, slept with whole neighborhoods, and you think a man gonna protect you. Protect you from what? What you choose to lay down with? Your bills? They're not doing that if you're not quality. Okay, if you wonder why these men ignoring you, because they don't see you as quality. Okay, they don't want you to be their baby mama. Most of them go out and if they see your kids, they be like, oh, hell no, I ain't gonna have that raising my kids. Look what she doing. And then they go have a baby. Most of them have a baby by Pookie and Ray Ray in the projects. And he got about 30, 40 children because he probably was the cutest young dude out there, but he ain't worth a quarter. Riding on a, what you call a dirt bike. Okay? Going out there to try to slang some drugs because he don't have nothing going for him. So he got babies everywhere. So then they're going to tell him he can't even afford child support. So you're not even going to get child support. He don't know if the baby heals or not. You don't know if the baby is heals or not. But nonetheless, then you mad at the other female that had a baby by him and the baby by him before he met you. But nonetheless, You turn around through them out and say, I don't want you. And then go to your mama and sisters, aunties and cousins and want them to provide for you. Like I tell everybody in my family, who did you make that baby with? That's who's buying diapers. Don't even ask me. And that's what real intelligent people need to start doing. Look, unless you want to raise care, I wouldn't be providing. I try to say, and then the girl don't even want to have a job. Baby, you better get a job and pay me some daycare. It may not have to be all that, but you're going to work nights. If you watch my child, I'm still going to charge you. The more you have, the more you're going to pay. Okay? You should have went out there and had all those children and you knew how to provide for them. I'm just letting you know. It doesn't make sense. Why in the world are you making children? You don't have your own house. You ain't even bought nothing land contract. Something cheap. An auction, a house you get from the auction. You ain't doing anything. You just sitting around talking crazy. And then acting like somebody owes you. Well, taxpayers are demanding. Stop taking our taxes to take care of everybody. And then when the people working hard, these women that's out here, they don't do nothing. They out here trying to sleep with your husband, your boyfriend, your children's father that's being responsible, willing to do anything. And then as soon as you leave or the relationship go bad, they don't want them either. And then the man look up and see that he don't have nothing, he ain't with them either. Stop. You know, I look at people, I don't somebody who's okay. Even though I deal with much quality men, okay. A man supposed to provide and protect for those he married. Are you married? And if he told you, baby, we ain't got to go to the courthouse, we married. In order to be married, you going to that courthouse unless God did that. And God will reveal it. Let me explain something to you. That is marriage. Marriage is a covenant, a contract. Contracts and stuff have to be sealed. It is a vow you make to God. I would tell you defer not to pay it because God will deal with you harshly. See, a lot of people running out here, their parents didn't teach them the word of God. But the Most High is over everything and we all under the same word. So if you don't go out and learn the word of God for yourself, you're just going to be something the enemy going to make a fool out of. And street people definitely looking to make a fool out of. Okay? At what point do these females need to grow up? You ain't finna be nobody's main woman or you walking around with a see-through top and you got on a dress way too short. They looking at your buns, your half your behind, short so little, half your booty cheeks out. All that cry is desperation. Because real women put on real clothes and get real quality. I'm just saying. Every time you get on YouTube, you got to put on 10 pounds of makeup. Because you're trying to sell yourself. But understand, you get on YouTube and have the most followers because their content is good. A lot of men, they can't put on makeup. I'm going to let you know. They can't. So you seeing the real them. They may not be the most, even if they just got a YouTube channel to make bills, to be responsible, to be a side job. Okay, and I can respect the game. They're not trying to sell themselves into more catastrophes. I got a lot of titles, job titles, and certification and degrees up under my belt. And I worked all my life, even with a husband, and I still pulled in a paycheck, gave him my half, and he turned around and would give it back to me and try and say, no, you ain't got to do this. and I stacked stacks and bought property. You females just want to live in the projects and have Tom and Harry come through, and this man fighting with a man, he go to jail, and then you out there with several other men. You ain't thinking about him. And that's what I told my sons. Don't. Okay? Don't fight for no female that's not your wife. Some female, if you was in a relationship that was down for you, when you need your half, I call all of us to be able to live independently. And when you come together with somebody, you're supposed to make their life easier. You're supposed to be there, help meet the bills, help meet keep the house clean, help meet preparation of meal, help raising the children, help with everything. So I say that to say, men, you finally getting smart and finding your peace and build yourself up, work, you're welcome, work and get you something of quality. You know, don't no mother want to have a son and see they will, you know, blazing Belinda and let's say slurping Susan, okay? Don't nobody mother want their sons with somebody like that unless she's really, really messed up upstairs. You know, don't nobody want that. Go get somebody that's quality, that's gonna add quality to your life. And in order to do that, yes, you do have to have a job and work. Okay? Not to just provide for them, but even if y'all get a place together, y'all supposed to be and stack because you're saving 50% of what you was spending now. Don't go get a place way higher than what you was paying in the beginning. Just get you a place, move your dude or your girl in and let them pay half. Okay? Keep the peace, make it happen. You ain't got to stay together forever, but you know what? You need to grow. Because when you get 18 and you get your own place, you don't really see how hard it's going to be. By the time you hit 22, 23, and this is why you see a lot of cultures be married, when they get 22, 23, they go ahead and settle down, lock down their good thing, because they didn't experience life. But you ain't experienced it all. You ain't weathered all storms. Ain't no stranger gonna weather no storm with you. You need someone that's dedicated and committed to you. Ain't nobody looking for someone who, you know, you may deal with somebody that just want to date you, but you know they don't want to marry you. You know, you want that one that's gonna make a lifelong commitment that through the good and the bad times they gonna stand. You look at a man, you look for a woman, you don't have to hold your head down in shame. You know, I just tell them a lot of these men, okay, you got this girl, you say she's so cute. Tell her to take her wig off and all that makeup off. Is she cute? Because 70% is average. Okay? If you take all that makeup and all that wigs, and they got weave down to their behinds, they can't grow hair down to they do. It take many, many years because the average person grow only a half inch a month, so there's no more than 6 inches of hair being grown a year. So to get 36 inches, it takes 6 years to get your hair that long. And yes, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. Now we got those few like 1.5 inches a month. I have hirsutis. I grow hair everywhere. I have to have electrolysis and laser. Okay, but on the average, you're only growing 6 inches of hair a year. So for your hair to get down here, you hear people say, I ain't cut my hair in 5 years, 6 years. They grew up, children had hair probably down to here or ponytails right here, and they just added on the years and boom, boom from there, and so they have long hair. But on the average, if you done cut yourself a bald head, and I tell these men, why you go get these bald head women? They shaved it just like a dude. You already know, see, they trying to perpetrate some masculinity. You know that's not going to be suitable, mate. Okay? Then you go get them. Ain't nothing wrong with a pixie cut and this, and this. But I tell people, if you go find a woman with not that much glory on her head, you ain't going to have that much help. Okay? Why can't you find a woman who wants to look feminine? See, I put cards on the table, and I put the cards on the table even for my sons. Look, find a real woman, someone who's going to work, want to help out, speak life into you, have her. You know, I ain't asking you to be, the most holier than thou person, but least decent, because most of the time that's all God is asking you for. Lock you in with someone, get married, build your family together. Don't be out here practicing witchcraft, serving false gods, stealing from everybody, being disrespectful, being arrogant, okay, lying all the time, being a out here, working in the streets, doing things to destroy people, unalive people, just God is asking you not to do, not being around people that do all those kind of things. Get a job, get you an education, work, love your family, love your spouse. You can hang out together. You can have a good time together. God didn't tell you couldn't have a drink. You can have a drink. He said be sober. If you cry every day, you ain't sober minded. You ain't making rash. What? You can go to the club. You can dance. You can listen to worldly music, but all music is not edifying. I'm not going to play a song to say I'm a 304. I'm a 304. I rock 3 different people after every show. First of all, I would sing that song and speak that over my life. I wouldn't want the life of somebody that worked them streets. Okay, so the music you put in and you rock it to, and that means you're in agreement to it. So when those horrific things start happening to you, you laughing because this man made a song about shooting everybody, robbing in the hood, and that's one day of life. Okay, that's exactly what you're gonna draw into your life. Be careful what you listen to. Rappers don't have no real life. Most of them sold their soul. What in the world would you want somebody that's one with Satan in your life? Got demonic contracts. And I ain't bashing, because I ain't saying all rappers. Why would you want something like that in your life? Why would you want somebody to imitate like that in your life? You want a man to go out and buy him a gold chain so he can flex it like this. But he can't feed himself. He's living in his mama basement, sister baby, somebody in the projects, got a whole bunch of kids, support. They may all give him $20, $30, $40, he doing God knows what, selling stuff in the street, just bumming. That. And yeah, a lot of females were like, yeah, he threw me $40. He come over and bring me $50 every week. Okay, if you get a real job, you get more than $50 a week. You'll get more than $50 a day. Okay, come on now. Do the math. And then children. How much you ain't gonna work for the government. So at the age of retirement, if you make it there, who gonna support you? SSI, you ain't got no retirement. I'm gonna keep it 100. You gotta use intelligence. And you see people like that, Now they may not like me and it hurt their feelings, but the truth hurts. I look at these men again, find quality. Okay, you talking to them, they talking crazy, they disrespectful. Every other word is profanity. You know that ain't nothing to bring home. Got your old clothes and clothes exposing themselves all the time. You know that ain't nothing to build with. They gonna dress like that in front of the children. You gonna be mad. That is an argument waiting to happen, and they don't even see nothing wrong with it because they planning to find the next guy because most of their relationships don't last more than 2 to 6 months. The roof over their head. But the system is changing, so it ain't easy now. So now they out here begging, talking about where the men go? Maybe to find a real woman. And I look at the men, it's still gonna turn around and bite you. That's all I got to say. I'm that girl goddess, but I want to tell the men again. I'm so glad I have some sense to leave that trash alone. Men, because one thing about the man that was rejected, if he handled his business, he gonna be the man that's respected. So, y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'm still gonna keep it 100.